G'day and welcome to the first episode of the ZK Fairlane restoration. I wasn't going to do it yet, but I noticed the floor was wet on the driver's side and it's been getting wet for a long time. Kind of caught me off guard because it didn't smell. It smelled nice inside, it didn't smell mouldy or anything. But we've had a lot of rain lately and that's meant, carpeted water in it. So, we pull the interior apart, have a good look. There's some good news, there's some not so good news. It's an old car. That's what they do. They give you good and bad news. Fortunately, the bad news looks fairly easy. But the more you dig, the more you find, hey? And I won't know a lot until I pull the dash. But I'm going to pull the whole car down and weld stuff up and do all sorts of things. But it's going to be a lot like the Sigma. A lot like the Sigma because the damage to it looks to be very similar to that car. And that, I think I did that in 6 months. Of course, I have other jobs to do as well. The XC being one of them, and I keep talking about the XC and not doing it. But I have got, I've etched a small thing that had Pt1 on it. I want to see what the adhesion's like before I start painting the guards. But anyway, that's a conversation for another video. I hope you enjoy. Now before we get started on this video, I want to say a big thank you to Byron from Down the Shed with Byron. He has a mechanical repair channel, which I'll put a link to his channel in the description. And he does all sorts, and he's a good mechanic. Like I'm a pretty experienced mechanic, and that guy knows everything I do, and a lot more, I would think. He does great work, and he's also got some derby cars and this sort of stuff. And he sent me this care package, and some of this stuff I actually had to look up. I didn't know what it did. 567, which is this guy here, it's the same stuff I use. A lot of good engine builders use that for. They call it liquid Teflon. It's a low strength thread sealer, so it's used for things like oil gallery plugs, that sort of thing. 515 is used for 2 metal machine surfaces to seal those. 569 is a locking sealant, which is, I think, a medium strength for pipes, threads and pipes, stuff like that. One of them I wasn't sure about, 609. This is one I had to really look at. That is used for cylindrical fitting parts and bonding. So I'm not familiar with 609. I'm reading off an idiot sheet now. I'm not really sure what it was used for. I've certainly never used it myself, but it's handy having it. 227 is your standard. That's actually a high strength thread locker, and of course the other one is 243, which is a medium strength thread locker. These 1215s, 3-bond products, are perfect. A lot of Japanese manufacturers use this. It's a variation, or pretty much the same thing as Honda Bond or Yama Bond, which we used on the motorcycle casings. This stuff is brilliant. It just is the stuff to use. There's two. There's another one in that box there. So Byron, if you see this, thank you so much. So very much. I'm very, very happy with that. I'd also like to thank Graham for his contribution. He gave me these new XT Falcon front indicator lenses. And they look lovely. They even come with, this has even got the spring with it. The returning spring. So I don't need to put them on the car yet, but it's lovely to have those sorts of things. And I'm actually wrapped about that. He threw another rear bumper, I think, in the XA, so he gave me another bumper. This combination switch, indicator switch, I've got to do something with it. It's just got a bit of sort of debris. I don't know what that is, but that'll all clean up well. A lot of the time these fade. This is still nice and black. There's a column auto one. We can just delete that, and it'll do for the XC and the XD, which is wonderful. These are hard to get, and when you do find them, people want a lot of money for them. Pitman arm. Not sure if this is power steering or manual. I know the coupling's different between the two, but I'm not sure about the Pitman arm. I think they're different as well. Not sure what that is. Let's hope it fits. Otherwise, it might be a good one for the XW. If it needs one. A couple of bump stops. These are in a tray actually of rusty nuts and bolts, but that's off the XA. I must have left them there and he's just sort of thrown them in this thing. They'll all get blasted. Next time I go there I'll put them in. A couple of nice shiny new bump stops, front suspension bump stops. That's great for the XA or the ZK if I need it on that. Some window winders. I'm going to put ones like this on the Fairlane. I'll buy new ones though, but that's the sort of thing that I'm sort of looking for. And this I'm wrapped about. This is the console modifying piece for the auto to manual conversion we have to do on the XC. And I haven't got a console for the XA obviously, but it'll be the same sort of thing though. Both those cars are going to be manual, so that's really good as well. So thank you if you see this, Graham. Thanks very much. Fairlane. Right. I smelt, or actually I didn't smell it. I noticed that water had been getting in. It's dried up a bit now, but I don't want to. I left the windows open for the last couple of days, and I'm going to take that front carpet out. I've taken the seat out because the last thing I want is mould growing in here. But not just that, these seats are kind of knackered. Now, this one's got something funky going on with it too. I've got to get under there and have a look. The frame might be broken, which is a weld up job. I don't think I can get these back by washing them. I'll show you the other one. I'll just put it on the back thing, the back porch, just a minute. The seat's in pretty good nick. We've got tearing through the springs, which is why we'll put a layer of hessian there. Paint those bits up and do the usual. But I'll take the other seat out in a minute. The other thing, this turned out well, didn't it? That's replated. That's the jack shaft for the XC. Graham gave me that. Thank you, Graham. So I've plated that in the silver and the rest in the gold. Now the gold is a silvery gold. It's not the same gold that I had that I was quite fond of. This new place does it a bit differently. But at the end of the day, they're all fasteners which are done. And we'll have some, rust prevention. They won't rust. Okay, these are the ones I've sort of undone. The plating's good quality. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a handbrake thing, I think. A lot of panel bolts there. These, that's out of the XA. Off the floor of the XA. Fresh from the Outback. I didn't throw any of those away. They were just in bags, big rusted cross-member bolt. Or nut, sorry. Just bags of just rusted bolts, and I thought I better do something about this. That's a power steering bolt that'll get used on the Fairlane or the XA. So that's all I've sort of unwrapped at the moment, and they love it when you re-string them yourself, when you string them up yourself. And I was doing everything. Heap of EJ holding stuff in here too. They're like inlet manifold bolts. They're not that nice, really, but they'll do. Carburetor spring. There could look nicer. Exhaust bolts. They quite often do look flat because they rust. And when they rust, there's not much you can do about it. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Alternator bolt, that's nice. Anything that's oily or really clean will come out well. So, their engine mount nuts. Anyway, I can go on like this for ages. Front pulley. Whatever. That's the, also out of the XA, that's the rear seat folding mechanism, the dicky seat folding mechanism, or the armrest folding mechanism. It's pitted there because there was rust on it, but don't forget this is original to the car. And I think it's going to be fun. Shackle bushes and all that sort of, what are they? Diffuse boltings. This is 350 special, the motorcycle. These have been on my eBay watch list for 2 years. It was the last pair, and I thought I'd better get them because they're actually quite cheap. So that's something I'll put away for later. So it's a CB350F, the 4-cylinder one, and the rims are the same as the E, the twin, but the twin had a big twin leading shoe drum at the front, which looks just retro cool. So I'm changing forks and all this sort of other stuff to accommodate that. Well, I hope you can hear the winds just come up. Right, so I've got a bunch of linkages here. These are, that's the column auto for a C4 for the Falcon. So there's a bracket meant to be here to go against the right-hand subframe rail. That goes against the automatic's pan, and that goes into the auto itself. So I can take these clips off, and I know how that works. That is EJ Holden automatic. That's EJ Holden manual. And I know what they are. I'm just going to sort of have a good look at them and take some photographs. Might as well just do it this way. Looking at the camera. That would be a kick down. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just... Who knows? I don't know. Spring. So I've got to take all these bolts out. That wasn't an auto car though. Anyway, and this one, these two are a bit confusing. So this is an accelerator linkage for a fellow. It's the same as I got in the XC. It's for a cable. So XC, XD. Not sure about XB, but it's not XA. Here's the XA one, and that goes against the firewall. And I'm assuming the throttle one goes through there. I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. I think that's a bit bent. So I've got to straighten that. So I'm going to get these plated. I'll just get them done in silver. And just get some pictures about how they all sort of assemble. These ones, there's a bush in there that's missing. There's a corresponding bush in another bracket, and that's probably buried in a box somewhere, I'm not sure. Started taking bits out. That all looks pretty good. The foam looks good. And that's the cushion of the back seat. So there's no listing wire there. It's just all fabric. What about down here? I think there's one there, yeah. Oh no, there's not. So we take that off. Oh, it's really fresh. There's only cardboard, so it's going to be really easy to damage. Bloody hell. Might cut that. Just so I can glue it back. There's that dirty great gas tank there. That bloke is definitely going. I don't want that. Right, so I'm sort of just taking bits off. So I'm not looking at what I'm doing. That's going. We don't want that. Because I want to see, I'll show you what I'm talking about in a sec. Oh, that's hard to get out. Hang on a minute. There's things like this. I want to find things like that. That's rust. And I'm telling you now, I'm not going to drill that out and treat it or anything like that. Well, I'll treat it, but I'm not going to do anything else with it. But I want to have a look around the back window. So I'm taking this out. And there's a lot of trims. You know, I'll be repainting some of these trims because they're... Can I find an example? See that? See that chalky? You can use a heat gun on there. I'll probably just repaint it, I don't know. And all of these screws, I'll get re-plated. Some of them are missing and I've got a large selection. See, look at that. Look how damaged it is. I want it to look nice. So, all of this has to be all cleaned up. That tank gotten rid of. I've got to see if there's any gas in it. I'm hoping it's not, but it's bound to be. And just take it from there. This was a bit weird. Taking this door trim off, I didn't bend that. It sounded crunchy, like rust crunch, and it is. But it seems clean everywhere else. I'll have a better look in a minute. Oh, I need my things to cut that. Right, we're not going with that again. Oh, it's broken, I think. Let's pull this parcel tray out. Have that sticky behind here. And that looks bloody lovely. Let's have a look over here. Wonderful. That is clean as a whistle. I'm not sure about what's going on up here. They do, that feels crunchy there. Damn. I mean, it's got to take the bloody window out. Didn't really want to take the rear screen out. Because it does look good around there. It looks like it's got rust under here, which isn't unusual. Right, onward and upward. We're just going to go around and just take screws out. So all of these are going to get plated. I'll read you the trims. It's also got these things on it. Whoops. And these make me nervous because rust. I've lost my small tripod. whistle cleaned. I'd almost be inclined to weld those up and just paint them, but I don't know. So it's just a matter of taking all these placky trims off, see what we've got. There's more activity there, but it's not too bad. I reckon I can get that out. It's just what's above the back window I'm not liking, but the rest of it's good, and the headlining is so nice on it. I just don't want to upset it. There's a tool. It's as I thought. Someone's been doing some weldy repairs there. So I'll take a look at it. Oh yeah, look. It's for the height adjuster. I reckon I can fix that. I didn't even know it had a height adjuster. Where's the knob for it? Is that a height adjuster? Yeah. Where's the knob for it? Damn. I don't even know where it is. Oh, look. Oh, okay. At this point, I'd be inclined just to stick a standard Falcon frame in. Had one of those too. I don't know what to do with it. The runner's probably bent, is it? Is that look bent? No, it's not too bad. Oh, we'll fix it up. Not really loving what I'm seeing under here. So that's been leaking for a long time. Still damp. We're going to have to take all this out. All these plastics. See how we go. Righto, driver's seat. Have a quick look at this. I don't think there's much I can do with this, to be honest. I thought these were stitched, and they're not. They're heat rolled. They're stitched down here and across there. There's a listing there pulling that in, but these are heat rolled. So I don't think my usual trick of throwing with a wash is going to do anything really. I don't think it's going to be too beneficial. Car's done a high mileage. People getting in and out. That foam might be collapsed a bit, I'm not sure. They're pretty presentable, really, all things considered, although we do need some elastic there. These are tricky. There's zips, which is easy. But on 9 out of 10 cars that I've pulled apart, you've got to actually use a separate zip handle. Right, so I'm going to put this thing on a tripod and have a bit of a looky, see what I can come up with. These have a hinge at the back, so they're only designed to raise at the front. Raising that at the front, there's a lumbar support on it too. So I'm tempted straight away to throw this and you just get a standard Falcon seat frame. The other thing I've done, I don't know how I've done it, is I've lost my side cutters, my Nipex ones. So I've got to use pliers. That is a ruddy mess. There's your brake. That's the reason the seat was moving around. And look there. I'm not even going to bother. Look, there's nothing wrong with welding up a seat frame. That side's alright. This side is knackered. So you can either, what they've tried to do is they try to weld it stationary. There's no penetration. It's all just sitting on top. Whereas that one's actually snapped. That's a mess. I'm not going to bother with that frame. I'm going to try and find another one. But look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off and see what I can do with the cover in terms of cleaning it up. And we'll take it from there. And that feathers will pop out. And then the whole run should fall off. I've never seen these. I probably have and just don't remember it, but interesting. Such a really simple mechanism. Can you see what I'm doing down here? No, you can't even see, can you? There we go. I'm just looking at this. I wonder if I might be able to fix it. I doubt it. The truth is I don't really want to. Yeah, they tried to weld that down. But it's also cracked in here as well. Yeah, let's piss it off. Anyway, let's separate the top from the bottom. There's an E-clip in here. Just in the bottom there. Hang on a sec. Normally when people mess with these seats, they don't put this E-clip back. There's one there. The seat's actually held on that way with the two bolts. When you take them off, it slides off. There's a little spigot. Probably can't see the lighting so bad. there, but there's an E-clip there, and normally when a seat has been messed with, folks don't refit these. I always try to, but then I'm just grouse, right? So, can I turn that round? You can turn them, but when they've been on for a while, there could be a bit of rust there holding it on. You can normally just get 2 screwdrivers either side of it, give it a bang and it'll fall off. This one, it's been hung onto on one side, so I think it's just going to come off anyway. But the frame could well be bent because it's been so out of shape. I think it's hanging on. There it is there. It's just like a lawnmower wheel. That'll just flick out. You've got to be careful with these old things because the plastic's so brittle. I might have to use a finer screwdriver. There we go. Now I've got behind it. I'll just take it out evenly. And it's got like a... Can you see that? It's a little... like a fuel tank sender. Can you see there? You probably can't even see it. But I'll show you what I can do. You got to just hit it. So, it's locked on that way. I'm just going to hit it here. And it'll spin around like that. And it's just like a bayonet fitting. That triangulated thing there has a little on-ramp on it, on each of those. Spin them and they come up onto there and they lock against there. Just like when you take a sender out, a fuel sender. And the rest of it is pretty easy. These are 3/8. And it all just falls apart. And there's spaces behind. You've got to be careful not to forget those. Come back. Where are you going? See what I mean? Falls apart. Hey. Oh, this is going badly. Alright, this is where we need 3 hands. There we go. Sweet. And there is the little part with the E. So it goes on, then it bolts up against here, so it's nice and easy. What I'm really worried about with this, there's a couple of things. I'd like to replace the elastic in there. And Ford being Ford, didn't spend any money. So a lot of this has been off. Someone's gathered it and twisted it. Thank you, Nick. If you're watching, if you see this, Nick's a gentleman from, oh man, that just went over the fence, from the United States, Michigan, I think, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and he is a frequent donator of really good kit. They're unique. I used to do everything by hand, but I'm old now, so I don't have to. Dave and I always bag this stuff. Now this pocket is literally just hog-ringed on there, C-clipped on there if you like. And I haven't got my, I've only got these ones. I use all the Nipex stuff, I love Nipex. But they're a pain in the ass when you're using them as pliers because you can't get onto that thing very well, very effectively. Or nearly as effectively as you can when you're using just straight side cutters. And I had them for years and I just cannot find them. I've left them in a car, I'm sure. And that's Ford's idea of an integral pocket. Pretty simple, isn't it? There's a listing wire there at the bottom to go against the ones that hold the back and the front of the cover on. And they're screwed up the side with the locator and Bob's your uncle. Pretty good. Effective anyway. And it's lasted this long, so it can't be that bad. Let me take these off. This is the $64,000 question. Are there zippers in here? Because every other one, most other ones I should say, as when I used to work at Superstream, we used to carry zip handles with us. So if we had to take seat covers out of an XD, oh yes! We used to carry those in our toolbox. So if we ever took covers out of an XD, we had some, because normally they're just cut off. The zip's a bit longer than they're cut off and tucked in. That's very good. Wonderful. That makes life a lot easier. Awesome. Alright, we've got to get this off. That's just a window disc here that you would find on a normal window. Which, ironically, I'm going to change all the window winder handles out because I don't like the black ones, I want chrome ones. I don't know if anyone makes the black ones. They make reproduction chrome ones. But I just don't know if anyone makes the black ones. There we go. I can use that again. Cool. So, mental note, there's an E-clip, there's a plastic washer, then there's that thing, which is a locator on a piece of Delrin. Cool. Oh, that's your lumbar support. 2 bits of piano wire and 2 plastic fittings. What's that in parts? About $3. And yet they make such a big noise about it when they have them fitted. Should be able to unroll it. Like that. Over the bottom of the frame. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Right, come back. Yeah, see, there it is. It's heat pressed. It's just rolled. God, I didn't know that. I always thought they were stitched. I can't remember how these headrests come out. There's a... oh yeah. I think you just push the button down and these things come out. A bit safer than a Toyota one because they tend to cut you with the back of the frame here. They're folded. Not dissimilar to that, but... yeah. That is just stapled. So that cover, whoops, that cover can just be taken off and washed and then just put back on. A good thing to do when you take them off, or when you're going to put it back on, is just a bit of Glad wrap because it's silent underneath the cover. Cover inside out and just roll it over. It won't gather that way, you know what I mean? It should just roll off now. There we go. A couple of little wires in there. And that seat can go back together and go back in the car, so at least there's something to sit on. Whoopsie, come back. That mesh is all pulled away. What's the outside and inside of the cover like? Yeah. That's what happens when the mesh comes away from it. That's what holds it. Damn. See? The mesh pulls away and this goes flat. Damn it. I don't know. I don't know that I can do much with these. I'm just pushing against there to unroll it. Right, but this driver's seat's pretty much stuffed, right? I'm going to try a couple of things. They're going to become my guinea pigs. I need the base, like I need the frame, because this one's rooted. Not just where the welding's been done, but the springs are all busted up, which I had some, what do you call them? See there? I had some new springs. I gave them to Jason. But I don't want that fixing because I hate it. Right, I'm going to chuck this in the machine. I don't want to use this seat. I don't want to use this cover. I went and saw Jason yesterday actually to help him wire up more of his car. And I was talking about this. I had the idea of heating up a bit of flat bar and just edging it in to burn it in. And he said it'd never work because there's a process, an electrical process they use to do it. And it's different from heat. I think it's more like, he assimilated it to something, I can't remember what he said. But anyway, look, this cover's knackered. The listings are stuffed. The frame at the bottom's knackered. I ain't going to throw this back in the car, so I've got something to sit on to move the car. But this and the squab covering, I'm just going to chuck in the washing machine. Not really to see if it'll clean, because it's a bit past that, but to see if it undoes all this, because then I won't be able to do the other seats if it has a detrimental effect on that. Let's see if this murders it. Push, push, push. This looks rather bad. But it's done what the Sigma's done. We've got a water leak coming in. I took that cover off. There's a grommet here, and it's actually gone underneath the sound deadening. And we're very wet there. So, it doesn't matter. We've had a lot of rain. I couldn't care less because we're going to change all this. rest of under the floor doesn't look too bad. But it's only that side as far as I can tell. So we need to figure out where that's coming from. I think it's more than likely going to be rust because, well, the screen's got to come out anyhow because they've broken out where the mirror was. Normally those mirrors fall off. This one's been broken off. So all of this is going to come out. We'll do what we did on the Sigma. Check out the bin, the console bin. Whoa! It's a mess. It's a real mess. So is that. I mean, it's just rubbish. I don't know. And so is that. That's broken. Start taking this off. That looks like it's off a wagon. I'm not sure if it's not. If it is or not, I'm just going to use a standard XD one in. It's got a crack in it. There. And I'm just going to take all this aftermarket crap out. And I cannot wait to remove anything to do with gas. I hate gas. Well, I mean, it has its place, but I won't run a car on it. I just don't want to. There we go. And all this aftermarket crap here. All that wiring. What's that? That's original. But it's just been meddled with. That I need to make sure is in the right spot because that's what stopped the car starting when I was trying to move it that time. And it'll be for the quadrant light. Undo the console, pull that out, and we'll have a bit of a look. Then we can get the front carpet out. Then we can really see. That's what happens when you try and pull the handbrake on. I think Steve did that, the towie. But it's all seized up anyway. The water's dark brown. Doesn't look too good. I'll have to get a new quadrant for it. And there it is. Can't remember to take these out. You lift it off, don't you? Yep. That is knackered. So I need one of those. It's all broken. I don't want to use it. And then the rest of this should just come out somehow. What's it caught on? God, it's so crunchy in this bin. Can I take the bin out? Gonna be making a new one of those, I reckon. What is it caught on? Oh. It must be the ducting that goes under for the air conditioner. Just a moment. We'll keep all these little foam spaces and so forth. These are impressive. Die cast. I really like that. The clock, on the other hand, I don't. It's the original clock, but you got this big bezel. This tiny little readout. I might actually get an XD one. I'm going to XD this car a bit anyway. I'm going to use chrome interior door handles and window winders and that sort of stuff. This is being, I don't want to break this. I'm hoping, yeah, get a bone. A Volvo service tool. Okie dokie. Oh, the globe's coming out. Oh, damn. That's cool. I didn't know they had blue ones. I thought they were all beige. That's a really good nick. Hang on a minute. I'll just get that light out. Just pull that up there. That should. Damn. Right. I've got the console out. Let's have a look at it. Right, this is a bit of a mess. We've got a hole. We've got a broken hinge. Is that broken? No, the hinge isn't broken. The hinge is fine. It's that bit broken off the back of this. The rest of it is in pretty good shape. As we said, we can just scrub the snot out of that, get a vinyl welder and fix that up. New quadrant, I reckon, will come up a treat. Although, It's not looking too flash here. It's got these big slotted screws. I'm going to pop them out just a sec. So it's sort of broken here. It's broken there, but the rest of it looks fairly good. That bin should come out, I would think. It's pretty grotty and grimy and all that sort of stuff. I'm not too worried about that. How does this bin come out? Kind of weird. It's got these clips. It looks like the bin is separate, but yet it's all a moulded plastic bin. Let me just muck around with this for a sec. Well, I don't really know how this comes apart. It's broken there. It's actually quite a thin area. I think what I'll do is I'll get a piece of steel. I'm going to run steel under there, across, and then down. Yeah, to give it some more support. And I can sort of refit this. That does fit in quite neatly. And that part there sort of goes up and covers the hinge. The top, I need to retrim. The rest of it I don't. The bit that's worrying me a little bit is this. The bottom. It looks like it's double skinned. Well, it is double skinned down there. But I can't see how to lift that out. And it all looks to be joined. Is that joined up there? It looks to be one piece there. It's weird. Again, because it anchors there to the floor of the car, I can actually just stick a plate there. And then do something about the interior. I think cut it out neatly and do a double plate. So one plate is against the bottom, the other one sits in the rebate that we cut out and we just fill around the edges or something. The problem with these, they're quite rare in good condition. And in this sort of shape, you're still looking at about $300 for them. And I'll never understand why. But I think people put them in their XEs or whatever, but it's a nice piece, you know. And I think cleaned up, I've just got to take that little snare wire thing out and what do you call it? And then I can, but I'm going to actually redo that, and I'll recolor that as well to match, so it all looks hunky-dory. I'll put that back on so I can drive the car. Yeah, so far so good. It's the other side I'm worried about. This is rotted, it's tearing, well, like that. So I can't salvage that carpet. But I wasn't, jeez. This has leaked for a long time. And you know the funny thing was, it didn't smell. Go figure. Damn, what's holding that now? Normally when cars leak as badly as this has, they kind of stink. I'm just going to make sure I don't drop screws or anything on the drive. It's thick stuff. Knox auto carpets do a really thick cud pile, which is what I'm going to use in here. I'll just have to tear this up. You still there? Where did you get to? So, let's pull this out and have a look. VDO, what's this? 11th, I'll keep that. I always keep little bits and pieces like that because they tell the story. Damn. Oh, let's have a look, hey? What I'm worried about is underneath things like this. Water trap, and could be potentially bad news, which it is. Yeah, that's not going to be very good. I'm going to have to break that, or at least cut it, and get under there and have a good dig around, because I might be putting patches in this. It's not a big deal, as long as it's not too structural. I really don't care, because I'll just cut a piece of steel and weld it in if I need to. Oh damn, I've broken it. Oh well, let's just sacrifice it then, hey? Need to cut that. See, it's got all that It might not be as bad as I thought, actually. So all that dead now has got to come off. It's like the signal was. Do you remember that? Or if anyone was watching it, I guess. It's these areas here, and this is discoloured from above, so it's going to have leaked down from up here, and I need to remove it and have a good look and see where it's coming from. That's all sort of breaking up, so it's been fairly well waterlogged, but I can't get that out. It's not rotted right through yet. What about under here? I think what I'll do is I'll remove some of this, but look, all that's going to come off. This is what the Sigma is doing, and you press it and water sort of gathers around it. See that? It's quite therapeutic knocking it off though. Yeah, that's some water, and it's been coming in for a long time. An awfully long time by the look of it. Right, the Fairlane. Okay, so we've given it a gutting. I haven't taken these door trims off yet. They're two right-in ones. But here's our interior, and it looks pretty darn good. Except the driver's floor, which is still darn good. Now, there are things like this. This back carpet was damp, right? That could have been from a number of different things. I looked at these lumps and bumps everywhere and thought, oh, is there water under there? But I don't think there is. I'll smash some of it off and have a look. Good thing about these Fairlanes, they are extended into dogleg, which means we can see right down in there. And it's rather peachy, which is good. The other side, might as well have a look at that too. The rear floors are great. The passenger floor is great. I did see, which I didn't see before, rust in there. It's not bad. The rust I think is going to be a problem is at the top of the screen. So for that reason alone, I'm going to kick the screen out. I'm going to kick both of them out. Let's have a look on this side. Damn. Where is it? Oh, that's where we're looking. Yeah, it looks pretty good there too. Lots of things like service rust along these areas, that sort of stuff, which is unusual, but I would think that would be predominantly because the carpets have been wet for so long. I do have to take that bit off, right, but from what I can see it was pretty good under there. We've got a little bit more along there, but it's just surface stuff. It's nothing to worry about. I always look at things like anodized bolts, plated bolts. They're all nice and shiny, right, which means I don't think there's any water leaks around there anyway. Got to change that door. I cannot wait to get rid of all that gas crap. And there's quite a bit of it. Like this box, for example, is hooked into this switch, and it's got its own loom, if you'd like to call it that. This floor's got two holes there. Just punch straight through with a screwdriver. They are quite easy fixes, small patches. Sometimes with small patches like that, you're chasing the thing around with the welder because it just keeps blowing through. So it might turn out to be a slightly bigger one. All of this looks pretty good. It's got this sort of red, oh, it's like pink oxide primer. I don't know what that is. There's the evidence of the water on that corroded bolt there. That's what I was talking about before. So I've had water swilling around in here underneath the carpet. Of course, it's come onto the other side of the floor brace, but it's nothing much really. That sort of thing's nothing. Right back with the wire wheel as hard as we can. Deoxidine, we're good to go. We do have a bit of flaky stuff going on here behind the pinch weld. So, in short, I'm thinking there's something sinister going on here. Now, there's water. I'll just do that light to the side so you can probably see. It's been coming down from there. So I'm expecting the center bottom part of the screen to be knackered. And we're going to find that out because, as we said, somebody broke the screen when they were taking the mirror off. So it's going to come out. And then we pull the dash. I'm going to pull the whole dash out, check all the wiring, do it all properly. That's going to give me access to weld, to clear up all of this. right, to make it look really, really worthwhile. But aside from that, things are looking quite dandy. 412,000 kilometres. It's not bad at all. The aftermarket temperature gauge that was here, just turning my thing off. I'm thinking this temperature gauge doesn't work, so I might ask Harvey if he minds giving me some advice or testing it for me. I might take that cluster out, and I'll leave the mileage where it is because I like that, and get him to check it over. Voltage regulators and stuff like that, they can be problematic with old dashes. I do love that this car is largely untouched in terms of original radios and, you know, this sort of stuff. I'm going to change it up a bit though. These handles here, I'm going to extend chrome, old school ones. That lovely man donated a map light, which is going up there. That large thing was like a bomb. That large gas tank's coming out. I'm only spewing, what I am a bit spewy about is this crunchy crunch stuff at the top of the headlining there. So I'm going to have to this is a beautiful moon crater, sort of ochre coloured headlining. It's in wonderful condition. I've got to be so careful I don't tear it. But I'm going to have to pull that out too, I think. Can't take those belts out till the... It's going to be easier taking all this stuff out, the belts and all that sort of stuff, when the tank's out. I can probably reach under there, but I haven't even tried. Of course, welding up all this sort of nonsense here. As well as all the gas stuff in the engine bay and changing a door seal or two. But aside from that, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this. So take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.